This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon The Magician. Abracadabra. Bonjour, Joel.
Hola, Andrew.
I don't. That's the only French I know.
Oui?
Oui, oui. Yes, yes.
Oui, oui. Baguette?
Croissant.
Fiancé.
Of course, I am French. Can't you tell by my outrageous accent? Which is on brand because this week we are talking about the French cartoon that made it to America, The Magician.
Can't see me now.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. So without further ado, let's review that theme song.
Let's hit it. So, I kind of hate this theme song.
Really, it's pretty across the board for me. Nothing
Like, it's... I would say I don't I don't super hate it. It's not the worst one. But I would give it a 4.
Okay.
To me, it's just so, I don't know, so boring.
It is very generic.
Yeah.
It's just kind of nothing.
Yep.
It definitely
What would you-
doesn't get you excited for the show. I know that
Oh,
much.
no. What would you give it?
I don't know. Like a 3? Maybe
There
a
you go.
4. Like a gentleman's 3.
A gentleman's 3. Dude, for some reason, I felt like this theme song was trying its damnedest to be Batman the Animated Series.
I have a lot of thoughts on that.
And it is a poor imitation at best. But not good. Not good.
So, Joel, how did this get made?
Andrew, again, we've picked one with not a lot of information.
But we didn't pick this one. This was a request
By who?
by friend of the show, Seth Cano.
Hey, Seth.
He's even gone so far as to already name your new reoccurring segment. So if you don't like it this week, blame him.
I will. I can't wait to hear it, Andrew.
All right.
But as you've already mentioned, this was a French animated cartoon. It was created by Florina Ferrier, Giles Adrian, and Zavan Yeatman Eiffel.
Nice. You did pretty good with that for them all
Thank
being
you, thank you.
Frenchmen.
Get ready to hear a lot of that laugh.
Genevieve.
Bonjour. Savin Yeatman, he was actually the story editor for it. It was produced by Gaumont Multimedia, and aired on Fox. That's how we got it over here in the States. But originally aired in France, 1998.
I assume Channel 3, because the network was just called France 3.
I wonder what France 1 and France 2 was showing at the same time.
The news?
You think France 3 was like that, hey, this is going to be like the TV show part of our network?
I guess it was actually called France 3.
France 3?
France 3. You are now watching France 3. Now back to La Magician.
Ran for 39 episodes, 1 season long. And Andrew, that's it, man. I tried looking to find, maybe one of these creators talking about this. Couldn't find anything on my end.
Maybe they were ashamed.
Maybe. I mean, I think I might be a little ashamed of it. Yeah. But that's it, Andrew. If you want to hit us with a voice actor, let's go for it.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about him. So, for the voice cast of The Magician, we have Michael Donovan voices Ace Cooper.
Nice.
Kath Sochi voices Xena. Rob Paulsen voices Cosmo. Charles Napier voices Lieutenant Dirk Vega. And Kath Sochi also voices Angel. It was kind of hard to find like a mix between who voiced who. Yeah. And I knew the voices, but it was hard to find everybody who did what they did, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, and looking at it, it looks like a lot of these people are doing multiple characters on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for other works, we have Michael Donovan is Bizarro in the JLA Adventures Trapped in Time.
Ooh.
Kath Sochi is Bambi Blight in Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Hey.
Rob Paulsen is let's see. Ooh, Apple Bob in Return to Monkey Island.
Okay. You had to go pretty far down that list.
Charles Napier is Murdoch in Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Hell yeah.
And that's pretty much everybody who's like, that was the main cast. So let's talk about this show. Let's really get into it. And I believe this show answers the age-old question, what if they did an animated series about Batman that was boring and lame?
Perfect synopsis, Andrew.
So this series takes place in the future.
Yeah.
Advances in technology have reorganized society during the third millennium, taking advantage of the widespread and hope and optimism in Electro City. The crime syndicate, under the mobster Blackjack Malone, have discreetly taken control of all important positions. They are repeatedly defeated by the protagonist Ace Cooper and his assistant Cosmo. So, the magician magic? Oh, okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say really quick, do you feel like Ace Cooper is the most American name?
I think it's too close to Alice Cooper.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
I feel like Ace. I feel like that's just a good old American name for a character that came out of a French cartoon. I thought that was funny.
That's a very interesting point. This thing is stylized like Batman, but with none of the effort of Batman. If that makes it. You can even tell in the logo that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Like that very minimalist, like black background. Like it's definitely like a Batman-esque show. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a Batman ripoff show, and he uses magic. Okay. If he's magic, it's less impressive that he uses magic. Does that make any sense?
Do you mean like,
okay,
if he's actual, like he actually is like magical?
He's Harry Potter, basically.
Okay. It's
not as impressive that he does magic, because he also is a magician on the side. And the whole point of being a magician is like, you're really good at like sleight of hand and mirrors or some other bullshit. But if he's actually magic, it's less impressive to me, his magic tricks, because he's fucking magic. Of course it's going to work.
Exactly.
Because the one thing everyone really wants to see a magician do, much like when you watch NASCAR, you want to see him fuck up the trick. And be like, you fucking piece of shit. Or maybe that's just a me thing, but like, haven't you ever wanted to see David Blaine? Like when he's like, fail? Is this your card? And they're like, no. And he goes, just
drops the whole deck of cards.
Just drops the whole deck and pisses his pants in fear. Nobody's ever wanted to see that.
Oh, I want to see magicians mess up all the time.
Or have like Chris Angel do like something and have a full on fucking panic attack. I don't know. Like
he'll do the whole like he's gonna bury himself, but ends up actually like just dying.
I don't want him to die, but I want him to be like over his head and be like, get me the fuck out of here. Like what have I done? But because this just immediately
rings that bell. He's like, get me out, get me out, get me out.
Like their fight or flight response just like goes haywire and they just immediately like panic. It's just, I just always want to see that. And like, I don't know. I really feel like we don't, I want to, there's got to be a YouTube compilation of magicians absolutely just whiffing it.
Yeah. Yeah, there has to be.
Has to be. Dude, or like where they pretend to burn the cigarette with their shirt, but it's actually a fake thumb, but he like messes up, and I don't know. It's fun to watch. Yep. It's fun to watch people fail, is all I'm saying.
It is. I think it would have been a better character design if he was not magical, and all the magic he was doing, even when he's fighting people, was just so sleight of hand.
Yeah,
tricks.
That would be way cooler. Like if he's doing like sleight of hand stuff, like he has to fight with the power of illusion, which would make his assistant. Awesome. He would have to have like a crack team of like 100 Cosmos, just like lugging around mirrors throughout the city.
After he defeats the bad guy, you see a team of like 100 people in like black leotards come out, they're respectable. Like, we got him, boss.
We got him. It would make the show more interesting, but he would definitely be a way more easily defeatable crime fighter.
one bullet to the chest.
One bullet to the chest, but he'd be like, that's not real. You didn't collapse that bridge. That's just optical. Boss, that's just an optical illusion. You know he uses mirrors. And he's like, you're right.
So, okay, now I've just made the connection. He would be the Mysterio.
Yes, he would be Mysterio, but if he fought crime instead of be a villain. Because... I mean, at worst, Mysterio can only really rob banks. I mean, they tried to make him a threat in that one Spider-Man movie, but they had to give him, like, Stark tech to do it. Yeah. But, like, base Mysterio has, at worst, he can... You could shoot him in the head and defeat him. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the fact that there's real magic or the technology is so advanced. That's the other lame thing. The technology is so advanced, it looks like magic. That's always a great way to show somebody you're bad at writing things. There are three things that I truly, truly cannot stand in fantasy type or superhero type things.
Okay, what's that?
Technology so advanced that it's magic. Evil
Okay.
Superman. What if the Hulk had a Hulk? If you are in the right... Yeah, no, that's happened like at least 2 different times.
Hang on, you got to explain that last one after your thought. So finish your thought and explain that what if the Hulk has a Hulk?
Okay, so if you do one of those 3 things, you need to go back to whatever you're writing and do it over because it's bad.
Yep.
Now, what I mean when the Hulk has a Hulk, I'm saying that Bruce Banner has the Hulk, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, now the Hulk has a second transformation that's his version of whatever the Hulk turns into. So now there's a third. So it's Bruce Banner, Hulk, Hulk.
So it's like Inception, but
Yes.
instead of dreams, it's just Hulks.
It's hacky writing. Yes, absolutely.
I cannot wait to see the 6th Inception version of Hulk.
Does that Hulk have a Hulk? Where does it end? Because there was one in, I believe it was called Fear Itself, and it was Hulk spelled backwards, which made it even worse. So it was called Kula. The one they got right now is called Titan, and it's also fucking lame. But we're not here to talk about how lame this current run of the Hulk is. Although I heard that series got canceled, and they're kind of steering back into the right direction. Whatever. I will say they picked a perfect guy to be Lieutenant Derek. Charles Napier really, like, his voice is just like so authority.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't feel like him. I feel like if a guy based his whole personality on being a magician. One, I think it would be more interesting if it was a family thing. Like the Phantom, I believe that character. So the Phantom is like, everybody in organized crime is like, if you kill the Phantom, he comes right back. But in reality, this whole family has just dedicated their lives to being the Phantom. So if the dad dies, the son takes his place like the next day.
Damn, that's dedication.
It is. And it's like been going on for like generations. So like all these crime people are like, he's an immortal man, but it's always just been like this family. Which I always thought was pretty interesting, which we may be talking about the Phantom when we talk about Defenders of the Earth later this year. I don't know if it's going to be next week, but definitely later this year.
The Phantom's got to have like 12 kids. Just,
because he's just a man in a purple suit. So like there's not much stopping him from getting just absolutely annihilated.
Yeah, just shot once and he'll run off and they're like, "Did we get him? Oh yeah, you got him. He's dead."
I wasn't really impressed with the villains either.
No, this show.
Although Jack Black Malone is also voiced by Charles Napier.
Yep.
And I mean, you can tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I felt like everything was just trying a little hard.
Yeah,
but not in the right way. I think this show was like, Fox was like, we need our Batman. We also don't want to spend a lot of money.
No.
So we got this French show that we bought, and we're just going to roll the dice with that. And these Frenchmen were like, I want to be paid on cheese.
This is French Batman.
French Batman. He gives up immediately.
Yeah. this show could have been more interesting. I mean, the concepts. I mean, it's not a bad concept, but
it shouldn't have taken place in the future.
No, dude. Imagine if this would have taken place 1800s, and if he was kind of like a sleight of hand magician.
Yeah, I would even say modern day, and make it a family thing. It's because he doesn't really have any connection to anything. He's just some guy who kills it. And it's like he doesn't really have a tragedy of why he's the magician. He's just some guy who's like, I've been doing magic for a while. Might as well fight crime. Also, it may be because I don't like Gambit, the X-Men, throwing cards to fight crime. Lame. Kind of lame. Don't like it. Not a fan. No. Everybody gives me shit for not liking Gambit. I don't like Gambit, but it's not for any of the reasons anyone thinks. It's because I think his powers are lame.
Look, Gambit's powers, like to me, in the 90s, like classic animated X-Men, to me Gambit just had a really cool design.
Yeah.
Like he looked cool. The whole Baton Rouge accent, things like that. But it is kind of lame to just throw playing cards.
I mean, I get that he can touch whatever.
Yeah.
I think one of the best improvements of that character is Rexplosion in Invincible.
Yep.
Comic and animated series. And I don't know. It's just because he just uses whatever's in his pocket. He's like, yeah, I got loose change.
I got some pocket lint. That'll work.
That'll work.
Yeah, but this show, I watched one episode and it was the most dull, just flat episode, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're very lacking in tension.
Yeah.
It just feels like he never seems he's too blessed to be stressed. And he doesn't have any confrontation as a hero. He kills it every time.
Yep.
And you're like, could we add some drama a little bit?
Yeah, like where's the challenge at for him? I figured this would be like this whole magic versus technology kind of thing.
That would be better too. We've come up with at least 6 different ways this show could have been better.
Oh yeah. Did they ever explain if he is magical?
I think it's a technology thing.
And also, I got another question.
He's got a magic assistant. But he's got... No, I don't really think I think he's just got some crazy technology.
Okay. And, in the episode I watched, I think it was the police chief knew that Ace Cooper was the magician.
I don't think he hides his identity, does he?
See, that was my question. I did not know. They did not explain that in the first episode. And I'm just sitting here wondering to myself, because, like you said, he's a very, prominent, actual, stage magician in the world. Yeah. And I kept just wondering, is that his secret identity? Because if it is, that is a terrible secret identity.
Unless he's actually magic and then he can
change
magic
his face.
You didn't see that in the yeah, I was about to say you didn't see this because this is all audio, but I did the John Cena can't see me.
He does that. He looks
he
at
does
the guy.
that and then they can't tell who he is.
They're like, what happened?
It was fairly difficult for me to find this show, and I can honestly kind of assume why. I feel like we've said all we need to say about it.
Yeah.
Joel, I believe it's time for your new reoccurring segment, reviews that go abracadabra and reviews that go alakazam.
Ooh.
Also, side note, if you want to send a request and then also name the new reoccurring segment in the request, by all means, go for it. I love it. I've
love
seen
it too.
some people do it on the post after I announce the episode is out.
Yeah.
Like, keep that coming. I absolutely adore it.
We
So
love it.
thank you, Seth.
Be our guest.
Yes.
Be our guest. Another French thing right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Oui.
You know, funny story before
Yeah.
you get into it. When I went to Paris, I went to Disneyland, Euro Disney, and I'm looking around Euro Disney, and I see stuff from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I'm seeing stuff from Ratatouille, and I saw, you know, things from Beauty and the Beast, and halfway I'm walking through it, I'm like, oh, I get it. All the French shit is here.
All the French Disney
It's
shit
just
is
like-
here.
And I was with somebody, and they're like, it just dawned on you? I was like, I'm not a clever man.
You gotta
But Joel
give me
hit
a
us
moment.
with, yeah, I got a dial-up modem brain up here. You got to give me a little bit to download. So Joel, hit me with some reviews.
Yeah, so I'm going to start out with one. A lot of these reviews that I found on IMDb, they were posted before the store system was implemented.
Ooh.
I found one titled Crap.
Hmm.
I don't know why some people like this show. We have your typical I can do all superhero and cliche characters such as the sidekick, the faithful pet, the detective who is the magician's best ally, the other detective who believes that the magician is a fraud, the love interest, and a bunch of stereotypical villains and incompetent henchmen. Combine that with bland animation and cookie cutter plots, and we can see why this show didn't last.
Fair.
Very, very right on point.
Yeah.
Now this one is the only review that actually has stars.
Okay.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Knew it.
Titled Really Good Show. I loved this show when I saw it. It was slightly cliche, but a heck of a lot better than other cartoon shows that followed the same lines. Think about it. There was only one other cartoon show before this one that had a crime-fighting magician with a cat, but it was fantastic. This one is much more realistic. Sure, some stuff like the magic force might not be realistic, but most of it was. I was extremely disappointed when it was renewed for a third season. I hope that the company that did this show released it on DVD because I would really enjoy watching it. Outside of Thundercats, this is the only cartoon that I would say that I like to this day. If people don't like it, that's their opinion, but I hardly say that it was crap. I've seen worse stuff than what was on this show.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
When you think about it. So I got a little bit of a question for you.
Hit me with it.
In May of 2016, according to Deadline Hollywood, Gaumont Film Company teamed up with Lionsgate and 7 other international companies to launch the Global Gate Entertainment Consortium. Now, do you think they will ever try to attempt to make a live-action The Magician movie?
Maybe?
I could see it. I could see it.
It could actually work
In the
as
low,
a
in
live
the
action.
when superhero fatigue reaches its peak, because right now I would say that superhero media is at a, like, we have a point of people aren't tired of superhero movies, they're tired of bad movies,
Yep.
which is fair. But at some point, we're going to reach a point where, like, everybody who wanted a movie, they got one.
Yep.
Or we've seen them. And that's when the fucking D-listers are going to come in.
Dude,
and I feel like The Magician is going to be one of them.
I could see them, kind of like you said, once that superhero fatigue hits that peak.
Yeah, it's got everything a producer that doesn't know what the fuck is going on likes to hear in a pitch meeting.
What's that? What would be the
future?
Pitch?
Okay, it's Batman meets sleight of hand magic in the future, and he's so coked out of his mind, he's gonna fucking jump on that like no one else's business. You mark my words.
All they have to do, they get an actual magician to come in, kind of dress him up. He does a little sleight of hand. Sold.
Oh yeah, it's
sold.
over.
It's
Absolutely.
Over. They'll be like, now imagine this in a movie.
In a movie, they're like, oh my god,
oh my god, this is incredible.
Is great. And
yes, let's make it.
Let's fucking here's $10 billion.
Does a line of coke and then just jumps out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make a prediction right now. 2029. I bet you we'll see something like it. I bet you,
dude. At this point, if they made this movie, I might watch it.
Yeah, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
If it came on Max, or like if it came to streaming.
Now, because if they did make a movie out of this, do you go like the dark drama, kind of like a more Batman?
Oh, they absolutely would.
You would have to.
They do Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, but with a magician, which would make it fucking hilariously bad.
Keep it all sleight of hand.
Yeah. Keep all it all sleight of hand, and he's trying to do like no, they do a dark and gritty twist, and they'd fuck it up. It would be like Madam Web levels of hilarity of how bad that shit would be, but it would be worth it just to see them fumble it so hard. Because it's already a fumble just to make it, so it would be even like just to keep them keep it doing and in the motion of the film would be worth it.
Imagine, okay, I'm going to throw out one more suggestion.
Okay.
Then we can move on. Sleight of hand, but have the comical relief of the Joker.
Okay.
So, like, you kind of do the whole, like, pick a chord, and he picks a chord, and then you shuffle it, and then you're like, is this your chord? And they're like, no. And then he pulls out another chord, and it like punches you in the face. Like,
I was thinking that too, only it's like somehow a gun.
Yeah, like something dumb.
Shoots him in the fucking head. It's like, is this your card? No. Pow. Like, well.
He's like, he's like, I'm going to catch this bullet with my teeth. And he does the whole trick, puts the bullet in his teeth, but then he spits it out at you, and it like,
that would be great. Like,
mouth.
it'd be way funnier if like he just stopped robberies with sleight of hand magic. They're like, oh wow, good job. And then like the cops come by and oh damn it, we were duped by whimsy yet again.
I would love to see that scene of like people like robbing a bank, and they're running down the street, and the guy's just like, would you like to see a magic trick?
No, his assistant is just a guy with a snare and a cymbal, and it's like, and he's just doing magic. They're like, wow.
There's like the whole like, ball in one hand, and comes up behind you, pulls out. He all of that. He's wowed you with his sleight of hands. And at the end, one scene, I just got to see it in one scene. He does that whole like pull a quarter from behind the ear, but he pulls a pair of handcuffs from behind your hips.
Same fucking I literally thought that as you were like saying that. I'm like, yeah, and he doesn't. And they're like, oh, Oh, that was amazing. I really sucks. I'm going to have to go to jail now.
I'm not even mad. How did you do it?
I was blown. So what are you in for? Bank robbery. Well, how'd you get arrested? Dude, you're not even going to believe it.
He's like, he got me too with
It
that.
got me too.
Just a bunch
Honestly,
of-
very impressive.
It's a ward void of magic. And you're just so captivated by magic that you can't help but stop.
You can't help but stop in the middle of that's great. Well, Joel, I believe that wraps up us covering The Magician.
Magic.
It's everywhere.
It is.
Much like the magic that happens behind our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/cartoondd and join our $5 tier, where you can get bonus episodes, extended audio episodes, stickers and pins mailed to your door, along with our access to our Discord to talk with like-minded people who like cartoons. We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can check out our store, buy yourself a shirt, and more importantly, request a cartoon. It goes directly to the site's email, and it's the best way to reach the show. We have a X handle, CartoonDD. We are Cartoon Dumpster Dive on every other social media platform. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice so we don't disappear. Have a great rest of your week.
See ya.
Magic.
This has been a Lug Hole podcast.